Prince William and Princess Kate break their silence over Epstein revelations and admit deep concern. Kensington Palace says the Prince and Princess of Wales have been deeply concerned by the ongoing revelations from the Epstein files. For the first time, the future King and Queen have spoken publicly about the cascade of documents that continue to emerge from Jeffrey Epstein's case. The carefully worded statement, released through official channels, marks a significant shift in the royal household's approach to the controversy. Until now, silence or brief palace denials had been the standard response whenever fresh details linked Prince Andrew to the disgraced financier. But the latest tranche of unsealed court papers has changed the dynamic, prompting William and Kate to express their position with unmistakable clarity. The statement begins by confirming that both the Prince and Princess have followed developments closely and with growing unease over recent weeks. They are described as deeply concerned, not only by the content, but by the persistent shadow these revelations continue to cast over the institution. Kensington Palace emphasized that the couple's primary focus remains firmly on the victims of Epstein's crimes and their ongoing suffering. This victim-centered language represents a deliberate choice, signaling moral alignment with justice rather than defense of any individual. The Epstein files, released in stages over several years, have included emails, flight logs, depositions, and witness statements. Recent batches mention Prince Andrew more frequently than before, detailing communications itineraries and financial interactions from the early 2000s. While no new criminal charges have been filed against the Duke of York, the cumulative weight of associations has kept the scandal alive globally. William's decision to break cover through this joint statement underscores his increasing readiness to shape the monarchy's public narrative. As heir apparent, he carries unique responsibility for the Crown's future reputation, and appears determined to draw clear ethical boundaries when necessary. Kate, who has always maintained a reserved public persona, stands fully behind the message, adding emotional weight to its delivery. The couple's concern is understood to be both personal and institutional, reflecting worry about family impact as well as long-term damage to the monarchy. Royal insiders say private conversations between William Charles and senior advisors have intensified since the most recent document drops. The statement avoids any direct reference to Prince Andrew, yet the timing and wording leave little room for misinterpretation. By prioritizing victims above all else, William and Kate distance themselves from any perception of institutional protection or indifference. This approach mirrors broader changes the Prince has championed, including greater transparency, mental health advocacy, and modernized working methods. The Epstein matter remains one of the most persistent challenges the royal family has faced in the post-Queen Elizabeth era. Andrew's 2019 Newsnight interview, his civil settlement with Virginia Giuffre, and subsequent loss of titles and patronages have not silenced the questions. Relocation to Sandringham, reduced public role and private funding were all steps intended to contain fallout, yet scrutiny persists. The latest files have revived calls for a formal UK police inquiry, with campaign groups submitting fresh evidence to Thames Valley Police. William and Kate's statement arrives at a moment when public patience with perceived royal reticence appears to be wearing increasingly thin. By voicing deep concern, they align themselves publicly with the growing demand for full accountability and transparency. Supporters praise the couple's measured yet principled response, seeing it as evidence of a more ethical and contemporary monarchy. Critics, however, argue the words remain too vague, lacking concrete commitments to further action or cooperation. Social media reaction has been swift and polarized, with hashtags trending around victim support, royal accountability, and family loyalty. Many commentators note the contrast with earlier royal statements, which tended to emphasize privacy or legal finality over moral reflection. The prince and princess are understood to have discussed the wording carefully, seeking language that conveys sincerity without escalating internal tensions. Their shared concern also reflects the strain placed on younger royals, who must balance personal relationships with public duty and expectation. William has watched his father navigate similar pressures since ascending the throne and appears determined to learn from those lessons. Kate, whose public image rests on warmth, empathy, and stability, lends the statement an additional layer of human authenticity. Together they project unity, strength, and moral clarity, qualities increasingly valued in a monarchy seeking relevance. The Epstein files show no immediate sign of slowing, with further batches expected as civil litigation and appeals continue. Each release renews media focus and public debate, forcing the royal household to respond or risk looking evasive. William and Kate's intervention may therefore mark the beginning of a more proactive communication strategy around this enduring controversy. The couple's statement concludes by reaffirming their ongoing support for all victims of sexual abuse, exploitation, and trafficking worldwide. This broader commitment aligns with their established work on mental health, early years development, and family welfare. By linking the Epstein matter to wider victim advocacy, they elevate the issue beyond family drama into a societal concern. Royal watchers will now watch closely for any follow-up actions, whether private briefings, increased cooperation, or further public comments. The monarchy under Charles and soon under William faces the task of rebuilding trust in an age of radical transparency. The Prince and Princess of Wales have taken an important step by breaking their silence and naming their emotion openly. Deep concern is not a casual phrase in royal communications. It signals gravity, reflection, and a readiness to confront difficult truths. As pressure continues to build from every direction, William and Kate have chosen to stand on the side of victims and justice. Their words may not close the Epstein chapter, but they mark a clear line in the sand for the monarchy's future. The coming months will test whether this concern translates into concrete steps, cooperation, and lasting institutional reform. For now, Kensington Palace has spoken, and the world is listening more attentively than ever before. Prince William and Princess Kate break their silence, admitting deep concern over revelations that refuse to fade away. In doing so, they remind everyone that royalty, too, must answer to conscience, public expectation, and moral clarity. The story continues unfolding, one document, one statement, and one difficult moment at a time. Yet through it all the prince and princess stand together. Deeply concerned, deeply committed and deeply